Well, good morning everybody. I am here at Better Brain and Body and I am attending the monthly ITEX Power Group meeting. So thank you to Maria Stone for this amazing group, and Dr. Alicia is doing the filming. But Better Brain and Body is really an amazing place. Dr. Alicia helps and her partner help to heal people with adjusting them and brain and neurological health. So I've just done a little PowerPoint presentation on anti-inflammatory food and how toxins affect the body and what we can do with anti-inflammatory food. So I have worked up this new recipe that I created with a golden milk, red lentil, and roasted cauliflower soup. So what we're doing is it's antioxidant powerhouses is what we're putting into the soup today, okay? So the first ingredient that I started this, I do have a recipe completely made for you guys, so you don't have to wait too long to eat it. So what have I got going on here in this little burner, in my trusty Le Creuset Dutch oven, is I've got onions that are working. So I started to work these earlier before I even got here, because to caramelize onions take quite a long time, because onions are actually very high in natural sugars, all right? I really love the whole alum family, onions, all the onions, the red, yellow, all of them, the stepsister, the leek, the first cousin, the garlic. The whole alum family are extremely, extremely valuable anti-cancer foods because they contain quercetin, ingredients that help the body to move toxins. Now, this burner of mine gets extremely hot, so I'm going to try not to burn the onions. But I was fortunate enough to be able to go to culinary school in France, and every time I cook, I can hear my French chef saying, "Let it stick." Because you know what I'm busy working here is this brown in what we call the font in the bottom of the pan, and that's the flavor. You actually want that to happen. So it's a little bit of a dice between having it stick and having it burn. But I'm going to show you a little technique in a minute when that starts to stick, where I release it with little bits of water to let it steam release. And you want this to happen because that's where the flavor is going on, okay? So while that's working, I'm going to work the, let me move this up here. I'm going to work the garlic for you, okay? And show you a little trick with the garlic. All right, now I really hate those, hate's a terrible word, I'm sorry. I dislike intensely. I dislike intensely those pre-grated, pre-crushed things of garlic that you buy in the store, because they usually smell terrible and they've been hanging around for a long time. So, you know, you can break down some garlic so quickly, all right? You just need to give it a good crush. This table's bending, so it's not getting the resistance I want. Okay, and then you're going to just work it through with your knife like this, all right? And then you want to put a bit of salt onto your garlic, okay? And why salt? Because salt helps to break down the cells of the garlic and release those magic anti-cancer compounds. So now I've got it chopped up. Oh, I've got to go back here a second. So you hear it cooking, and it's really sticking, and it's kind of in that point where it's magic happening, but it could burn, okay? I'm going to drop a tiny bit of water down the side of my pan. And it's going to release all of those brown bits. Thank you. It's going to release all of those brown bits, and then it's going to start to stick again. And this is how you can make French onion soup without being tied to the stove for 1 hour. Okay? This is how you can make it happen quickly. When you reach this point, turn your knife on its side and crush. Listen, if you want to use the garlic press by all means, go ahead. You turn your knife on its side and you crush the cells. Alright? Done. Here we go. The garlic has worked. Okay? Now, I always give the onions a head start before I put in the garlic, because garlic burns really easily, you know, and burnt garlic is awful. It's just like got a really, you know, a really accurate taste to it. So these onions are busy looking amazing. I don't know if you guys can see. That's the sort of color that I've got here. They're looking really beautiful, you know. And the sugars are caramelizing. You know, you can't hurry love or onions, you know. No, I think at this point I know more about onions. Okay, next magic ingredient. I think you all know about ginger, right? Ginger is just a really, really cool anti-inflammatory, one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory foods that are possible. This one I actually had in the freezer because ginger, when you buy it, can go moldy pretty quickly. And so I freeze it and I just peel it with the back of a spoon. Or you could use a vegetable peeler as well. You know, these collection of graters, microplane graters, are something very important for you to have, you know, in your home, in your kitchen. If you've got tools that you enjoy working with, it's just going to make your cooking experience so much more fun, you know. All right, so what's happening here? We've got the onions, we've got the garlic, we've got the ginger, and now I'm going to put the spices in and give the spices a whirl, okay? So here I've got a blend called Indochine, and this is from one of my favorite spice stores, from Savory Spice Store. And Facebook land, I will post this recipe in a couple of days, okay? I will try and do it as soon as possible. But Indochine is turmeric, galangal, lemongrass. It's kind of a slightly curry with sort of a, you know, Indonesian sort of a sort of influence to it. But I will post some alternatives that you can use instead of Indochine, okay? And then turmeric, okay? And I've got a bit of black pepper in this mix as well, because you need black pepper to actually activate turmeric and make it bioavailable to the cells of the body to use, okay? So you're going to give your spices a very quick stir to release them, and then immediately pour in some liquid, because spices burn very easily. Spices actually have natural oils in them, which, you know, which really help to carry the healing properties of the spice, but they burn very easily, so you want to be careful not to burn your spices. So what did I dump in real quick? I dumped in my homemade bone broth that I made yesterday for you. You know, I always buy a whole chicken. I never buy a chicken in pieces because it's so much more expensive. A whole chicken, even an organic whole chicken, is about $3.50 a pound, right? Chicken breasts can go up to $9 a pound. That's what they are right now. It's crazy. So if you add up all the components of the chicken, if you buy it in pieces, you'll see what it costs. And if you learn to take apart a whole chicken, you've got the chicken backs, which is what I use to make the broth. Because if you go and buy broth, it's also crazy expensive, right? It's a very easy thing to learn to make. And it's so rewarding to do it yourself. Alright, so wonderful source of collagen. You'll want collagen for anti-aging as well as anti-inflammatory. Okay, so let me talk about inflammation and protein real quick. You know, there is no one size fits all as far as the diet goes. Some people do really well, for example, on the ketogenic diet, and it is wonderful in therapeutic purposes for people that have got, you know, brain injury. It can be really amazing. But it's not a diet that people should take on without having their labs and their numbers checked, because certain types of cholesterol, if you have a genetic type of cholesterol like lipoprotein A, a ketogenic type diet could be a really, really bad thing for you. And then a lot of people are very strong plant-based advocates. Now, I'm an advocate of eating a lot of plant-based foods in your diet, but not necessarily 100% plant-based foods, because what I've seen is clients after 2 to 3 years on a plant-based diet actually get very vitamin deficient, have their digestive system fail because, you know, they're just not getting the digestive fire anymore, and they're not getting the protein that they need, you know. So yes, some people do flourish in a vegan diet, but as a general whole, you know. So I think we need protein. We just don't need the vast amounts of protein that a lot of people eat as a general rule, you know. And protein can actually be very, very important to assist the body to detoxify, all right? So as part of an anti-inflammatory diet, protein can be very important, yes. So if you want to make the vegan version of the soup, just use vegetable bone broth. You don't have to use chicken bone broth, okay? And then the next superfood ingredient that we're going to add in is red lentils. These are organic red lentils. I really love lentils because they are a wonderful source of protein, B vitamins, zinc, all kinds of amazing things. And these red lentils cook super fast. I mean, they're going to be done in about 20 minutes. Okay. And then the next awesome ingredient, healthy fats, is coconut milk. And if you can buy organic, it's kind of important because coconut milk can be, certain types of coconut milk can have additives in them which are not so great for the body, alright? And then the last ingredient, I wish I had taken shares in cauliflower before it became so popular. So cauliflower really, you know, is the substitute ingredient, you know, for so many carbohydrate foods. So all I did with this one is I cut it up, put it on a sheet pan with a little bit of oil and roasted it in a 400 oven and took about 30 to 40 minutes, turning it a few times. To give it some depth of flavor and some yumminess, you could just put it in raw, but it just gives that, you know, sixth dimension to the soup. Also a very good antioxidant food. It's actually a very sulfur-rich food, and sulfurs are very good to help the body to reduce inflammation and to detoxify. Okay, so this is going to go in, and it's, you know, I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to let it simmer for about 20 minutes. And so I'm going to pop over here because by the magic of the Facebook Live, I prepared one for you guys. Oops. I prepared one for you guys at home. All right, it's just getting a little hot here. Okay. So you could leave the soup chunky, or you could do what I've chosen to do and puree it. I just like the texture of it pureed. So wonderful and silky and smooth. Sorry, Dr. Alicia. All right, so what am I using for my little toppings today? I'm using toasted unsulfured coconut flakes, and I'm using pepitas, which I toasted lightly with a couple of spices on them. And that's it. There is your healing anti-inflammatory breakfast. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Bye-bye.